What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 171 of the Dadbod Golf Pod. We took Monday off. We're back. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's Would You Rather Wednesday. It's Kyle, Ben, and our buddy who promised he'd come back after a Jordan Spieth win. Spieth Legion himself, the most electric number one shot tracker in on the Twitter sphere, fresh off new ownership. Congrats to Elon Musk on that. So we're ready to rock and roll, have some fun, talk about Jordan Spieth, talk some fun scenarios, and have a blast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Bet Online, the number one sports betting website in the country. NBA is starting to heat up.
Yep.
Playoffs, or not playoffs. NBA, it is. It's playoffs.
Yeah, it is playoffs.
Playoffs time started.
This is the only time I watch the NBA.
This is when basketball. This is when NBA is real. Like it's been, it's basically like half-assed and kind of rigged beforehand. It's actually rigged. It's actually
been scrimmages up into this point. Now all of a sudden they decide to play for real.
So you can get in on that action. You got tons
unless
of
you're the Nets, and then they don't play for real. Whatever.
Yeah, they're out. Then golf prop bets, all kind of stuff you can do. Sign on today, get a 50% bonus. Use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV. Give them $100. They're going to give you 50 back to play with. Have a blast. Bet Online is where the game starts. So, Bob from Spieth Legion.
Yes.
Last time we had you on was shortly after Spieth won. I believe at TPC San Antonio, episode 69. We're 102 episodes beyond that, which is crazy to think about. So glad to have you back.
Absolutely.
HBC Heritage took him down, playoff win, almost hold it out from the bunker. Again, what's it like? How electric was it? Like, when did you kind of feel like this was going to happen?
That's a really weird question because this was by far the weirdest win I'd ever experienced as a tracker or a fan. When he missed the birdie putt on, what was it? 15, the par five. I was like, that's wraps.
Yeah.
Like literally everything would have had to gone his way, and it did. Like
it did. Yeah.
It made no sense, but I knew that we'd have to dodge a lot of bullets because there were like so many guys one shot behind with like 5 holes to play, and nobody birdied the par 5. And that's when I was like, all right, this could happen. It's still going to be a long shot, but it could happen. And then Cantley tied it, and I was like, well, he's the last person I want to face in
a playoff. Right.
But it was unreal. I shut the TV off because it was on Easter, obviously. So I went to have Easter dinner with my family, and I got a buzz notification that it was that Lowry went in the water. So I wasn't watching at that time. I thought it was over. As soon as he had finished out, I shut the TV off, went to eat dinner with my family. And I almost got like in trouble because I had my phone like under the table, just like looking at stuff. Because like I
how does that work? Because you're dependent on that, and I'm sure you have family stuff that you have to go to.
Oh yeah, I mean it was tough. I had to like Easter Sunday's a tough day, which is last year was understandable because he was leading, so I kind of got them to plan their day around it. This year, like I had no expectations of him winning whatsoever, and so the dinner was at 4. Like that's the time that it was at. And
I mean, that's crunch time. That's when they're all finishing up. It's funny because we're in a group text, and me and Kyle and Nate are, and we're going back and forth. And it was one of those things, as soon as Lowry went in the water, that was what me and I forgot, Kyle, it wasn't me. It had to be you or Nate. Somebody said Spieth's winning this effing thing. Like this is happening.
I think he's winning this B.
And we're like, there's no way. Like we're both, the other two of us are going, there is a lot of golf left. We're not counting that yet.
Yeah,
I said he was going to win it outright. I thought I kind of thought he would win it outright.
Kyle thought he was going to win it outright. He didn't think he'd go to a playoff. And then I didn't think he'd go to a playoff when the kid, I don't remember who it was. He was over.
Straka.
Yeah, Straka over there in the and this guy's trying, instead of just getting his up and down and taking the playoff chances, he tries to make his friggin' chip from the water. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Blew it like 12 feet by, and then
See, the thing is like that's what happens in golf, where like Spieth's in the clubhouse with 5 guys to go, and then someone makes that 40-footer, right? And then that's like, well, that's that. That's what Sepp Straka did. And when he made it, I was like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
we're on to next week. And then Sepp Straka bogeyed the 18, and I was like, whoa. Because it was so weird. Like I did not think he had a chance at all an hour before he won.
That's the thing. Like,
and then all of a sudden I was like heavily rooting for putts to be missed. And like, it was like so weird that like I went from completely shutting off my fan side, because you have to get like, it's a lot of like, when you're in contention, you're all in.
Oh yeah.
So to shut that off and then have to go back to it, it was really weird. I've never experienced anything like it. I've never seen, the talent's just so big out there that you don't see guys in the clubhouse win very often anymore.
Not that finish up an hour ahead of time.
No, not
there's
at all.
No way that when there's other guys that have 7 holes to play, you're thinking, nope, let's start packing our bags.
The last time that happened was Higo, I think, which was like a year and a half ago.
At Congaree or something.
The Congaree one. It was crazy. It was.
What's funny is your emotions have to be a lot like what Jordan Spieth's were. I feel like, you get in and he was like, I don't know. Do I go to the range? Like, what do I do? Like, it's so far, it's so long before everybody
got the hour
finishes.
And a half before I do anything.
It's so long before everybody finishes. And like, there's really no chance that somebody doesn't get to 14 under. I mean, Shane Lowry, when he finished, Shane Lowry was ahead of him. Shane Lowry was 14 under when Jordan Spieth's last putt goes in. And then we talked about it on the recap show, hits in the water. It's got to be crazy. And then you got to turn it back on. He didn't even go hit balls, I don't think. I think he just putted for like 50. They said like 50 minutes, I think is how long it was. It's just nuts. So it's like you had to do the same thing. You turned it off and then you had to turn it right back on and go into a playoff versus Cantlay, who's pretty much a killer in playoffs and in general. But
so I was kind of thinking about that. So he did go to the range, but it was for like 2 minutes. So like when he got back to the tee, I was like, this is not great. Like, he's tight right now. Like, Cantlay just came off the course, and it's Patrick Cantlay. I've talked to some pros before about how they go through that, and their mentality is very different than what we are. Like, every time, like, I remember watching Rose in the match against Spieth, where Spieth had a 10-footer to tie the match and go to an extra hole or something like that, and Rose already had the driver in his hand. Like, he was banking on, like, their mentality is that they're playing the next hole. Like,
right.
That's how they're thinking. That's how their brain is trained to work. So I'm sure Spieth was always, as soon as he got in that clubhouse at 13, 14, he was like, all right, I need to prepare for the playoff. Like, if someone beats me, someone beats me, but my mentality is that he even said it, an hour.
He even said it when he went and he talked to the kids that went viral, where he told the kids he was like, hey, there could be a playoff, so I'm going to go over here. I promise I'll be back. And then that was, of course, a pretty awesome moment when he did go back. Showed a lot of character. So I mean, he's a good dude.
You think he remembered, or somebody's like, hey, dude, you told those kids.
I'm sure he remembered, because it's right on the way to the clubhouse, so he would have to walk by him anyways.
That. I know, but like, the emotions got to be high. You just won. You're like, that's got to be the last thing on your mind.
I mean, it's just it had to be so weird for him, because like when he missed all those like putts down the stretch to like get him back in the tournament, like I'm sure he was like, he was definitely not prepared to walk away with the trophy on that day. Like, that was not what he was thinking.
And you know why? Yeah, I'll tell you another reason why that he was not prepared. They did not prepare the whole bring the baby out and celebrate together. It was very awkward. It was I mean, it was so
Kyle and I have kids, and so we've argued with people about this because people have said, she didn't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, we've been in that moment. What she's doing is she's trying to bounce that baby because that baby does not want to be there. That
No.
kid is about ready to lose its shit out there in
they
front
got-
of everybody.
They
He had no
not-
idea what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. They had not discussed, they had not worked through the how do we celebrate as a family
Yes.
after this victory yet. That was one thing
No, yeah,
that
not at
they,
all.
they were not prepared for, but it was still great.
Awesome.
It was still great. So I guess playing pretty good, playing pretty solid. What are we thinking the rest of the year? What are we looking at the rest of the year?
This is a style of play we've never seen Jordan have before, where he's hitting the ball so well and the putter is not there. Like he won the tournament without a putter. It was the last thing I'd ever thought I'd ever say.
We hadn't even talked about that, how bad it
But
was.
That's not something that's going to win consistently. Like he knows that he has a lot of work to be done. He knows that that's not where he wants his game to be.
No.
He wants his putter to
183rd,
be.
183rd
Yeah.
strokes gained putting right now.
So unless he fixes his putter, I don't see much. I mean, it's very hard to win like that. That's usually what Rory does. He usually picks off. Rory and Morikawa usually pick off those wins when they have a hot putting week. It's the exact opposite with him. Like he caught a week where he could get away with it and he won, which is good because Jordan's never been a guy who's capitalized on that. So it's nice to see that, but I definitely don't think that this win doesn't make me feel any better about his game than it did before. It's just nice that he was able to pick off a win when I didn't know if he was going to win for a while, because a putter's not just like that fix. Like, it takes a lot of work. So
sure.
I think this is huge for the confidence, because I think the confidence is part of the putting problem.
Right.
So if he can figure that out, I'm sure he's got a nice few weeks off. I mean, the next time he tees it up, he's going to be, I won the last time I played.
Yeah,
I'm feeling great. So that's a really good. From that standpoint, the win helps a lot.
I'm really trying to get this pre-shot routine down. Like whatever he's doing, I'm really trying to emulate it. This pre-shot routine thing, this whole, the thing he's doing at the top. I can't quite master it, but it seems like it's working. It's
it's working. All the people saying that that's the problem. I mean, they're not watching. It's not.
He's hitting the ball fine.
Hitting the ball fantastic. But it's weird. It's weird to look at visually. It is. It's not something you'd think would work.
I'm not sure I haven't watched any videos on him or anybody explaining it. I'm not.
I haven't either.
When he goes back, it looks like I don't know if it's how he's dropping his elbow. Like it's got something to do the way he exaggerates it. It
looks awesome to me.
It is. It's like he's like reminding himself to tuck it. I'm not real sure what's going on there. I do find it, and I got to bring this up. I find it interesting. I said this during the Masters, and then I said this after he, what was it, first or second round where he missed that little 1-footer. And finally he said, his wife told him, said, hey, next time, let's stop. Take a deep breath, count to 5 before you put anything inside of a foot.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean,
that's just lack of concentration. That's his emotions.
That's not something that happens on a week that you win. Like the fact that he had just missed, you don't win tournaments on the PGA Tour throwing away 1-footers.
No.
That's just crazy to me. That shows that his ball striking was just so much ahead of everyone else that week. I mean,
we should be going back. What we should be talking about, we should be going back and talking about how that cost him, like how that he lost by 1 shot. You know what I mean? Because
exactly. That's what
we should be talking about.
As soon
because
as
he was, what was he, second? If he makes that putt, and
if he makes a tie for second, he's too bad.
And he goes from second to 6th or 7th to 9th.
7th or something like that. Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? Like, and I know like that frustrated him more than anyone. Like that. That's like he knows that those are the ones. Like just as Kyle just said, like that's the shot that loses you the tournament. That's what happens when you lose by 1. That's not what happens when you win. It was just really weird. It was just a bizarre week.
Yeah.
It is the absolute last course I would have expected him to win for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it is a unique.
I'd say with exception to Torrey Pines, it might be the course that I expect him to win the least. Like those greens, he's just never putted well. Like the fact that he could ball strike that well to get himself to a point where he could win. Especially off a miscut at the Masters. Like we were talking about like rock bottom. It was just like, it was so weird.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest. I mean, sneaky, one of the toughest ball striking courses I think that they play because of the tree line fairways and the angles that you can get. Sure. It's just really hard to hit fairways. And a lot of times you can hit fairways and you still can't hit the greens. So he to putt as poorly as he did and still win is pretty impressive. So,
and to quote Kyle Rush, they have the stupidest par 5 in golf.
Stupid. Let me tell you what I hate I hate par 5s where I don't care if they're long and I don't care if there's a hazard in front that makes you have to lay up.
Oh, the 16th. Yeah.
I hate par 5s where the green it's a 3-shot par 5 because there is like there's obstacles in front of it. Like there's like it's not
because it was a short par 5 and they decided let's screw them. Let's put these trees and tuck it back here in the back so they can't get to it.
Like 9 at the at Sawgrass is dumb to me. Now, if you think about 9, it's very similar to that. I just don't. I don't know. I've never.
There's a window on that par 5 from like the 250, 60 yard range, where if you have like 260 yards in, you can go for it. But if you have 230 yards in, you can't.
Exactly.
So like you're penalizing someone for hitting the ball further and straighter. It's like it's a stupid hole. You're right.
There's a course in our area that has a par 5 that's very similar to that. It's Sagahatchee number 7 or number 8. It's kind of like that.
Yes. Number 8 is just like that.
If you hit a bomb, if you hit a bomb, you're screwed. If you just kind of flare one out and leave yourself 250 in, you kind of got a shot at the green. I don't know. It's kind of goofy golf.
You got one where if you hit a bomb, Bob, you basically have to take a 5 or a 6 and just punch it under trees to kick it out sideways.
Crazy.
And then you can go for the green from 100 yards in.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Ridiculous. It's just stupid.
We'll be pulling for him for the rest of the year, and every time he wins, you got to come back on. So,
do you have a let's? I know you said you don't see him, you didn't see him winning that one, so and you don't see his putting getting any better right now. But if you had to make a call, he's become all of a sudden, just because I think he loves playing there, he's become one of my favorites over at the British Open.
Yeah, I'm not as high on him at the British Open as most people are.
Yeah,
I think the course fits him great, and if he plays a great week, I think he could be there. That tournament isn't one that sticks out to me because the fact that it brings so many people into play.
Yeah.
Like he'd have to it doesn't fit him like it does like the other open courses do. Like everyone is in that tournament. It's short. It's right in front of you.
Wide open. Yeah.
You just need to know how to handle the conditions. It doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that it's right in front of you. Like anyone can play that golf course that can hit at 270 and is a professional and can win that tournament. So where I like him the best. I just don't know much about Southern Hills to give an opinion. Everyone's saying that it's a great course for him. I think it's a good area. Like it's sort of like Texas golf, which will be good, but
Do they play at Trinity again at some point in time? What's that tournament that's later? The Byron Nelson maybe or something like that?
Oh yeah, they don't. So they played at Craig Ranch now.
Okay, gotcha.
I like him at TPC River Highlands if he plays there.
That's the Travelers. Is that what?
Yeah. That's a course that he's never really putted well there, but I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those tournaments where it's losing the field that he used to have. Like Phil Mickelson isn't going to play, I'd assume, because of everything going on with him.
Yeah.
I actually think this year there could be a lot more people just because it's right after the US Open and it's right next door to TPC into the Country Club. But I like him there, and I like him at I like him at Memorial. I always like him at Memorial. I think he's going to win there before his career is over. So
be a good one. He had a top.
Oh, and Colonial, of course.
Colonial. That's the other Texas one.
Yeah, that's the one that he should win every year. I mean, that field's awful, but
yeah,
Last year still
they let
stings.
Annika play it one time, I think.
Yeah, last year.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something on that. Yeah, but
Sponsors
yeah,
exemption.
yeah, he choked to Kokrak last year, which is not great. But well,
we'll get
we'll
it.
see.
We'll see
Yeah,
if we can sneak another one in there.
yeah, that's the
before
plan.
before the end. Yeah. So let's have some fun. Let's have some
Absolutely.
fun. Let's do
Here
some
we go.
Let's do some scenarios before we start. I want to give let's have some more fun with how about some golf fashion? Hey, check out Swannies.co. Use coupon code DABBOD GolfPod -25 and you can get anything you can imagine golf fashion wise, polos, pullovers, hoodies, shorts, bathing suits. They got bathing suits. Anything you can desire, Swannies has it. Show those guys some love. They're good to us, and we try to rep their stuff whenever we can. So
yeah,
check them out, Swannies.co. All right, it's we talk about Wednesdays. Wednesdays are our scenario and would you rather Wednesdays. So we sort of have some quote unquote, like I guess some Jordan Spieth themed scenarios / questions, and we're gonna go through those, and then we got a fun golf one at the end. So this will be Bob's first.
Yeah, my first
Would you rather
experience.
Wednesday, and we're gonna have some fun. So
and we promised we wouldn't make him go to prison.
we promised we were gonna throw out all prison scenarios.
Of course, Nate's not on here. Nate's a big prison guy. I don't know what it is about
Nate
that.
would have you behind bars, more than likely. So, all right, number one. Oh, big shout out to Nate. Nate closed on his house today with his wife, so he is in the midst of doing grown-up stuff, moving.
I will say, y'all will all be highly disappointed if you watch it on YouTube because the Christmas tree is finally down.
The Christmas tree is going to be down. Yeah,
now that
we've
reached May.
Staple. That sort of became a staple.
Yeah.
So. All right, so
yeah, I grew up in a house where our Christmas tree didn't come down till at least June. At least June.
That's great.
We just took ours down like 2 weeks ago. Like
that is amazing.
This was like 5 months ago.
It became a thing for the all the Southerners that were watching here locally. They kept on. They would send us messages. They were like, "Is he ever going to take the tree down?"
And so then it was like, "No, actually, we're just not going to take it down."
Yeah, at this point, we can't take it down because it was silver, so it actually like went along with the theme of the show. So we decided to tell him to keep it. But now he's moving, so he said he was just packing the whole damn thing. I think he said he's just going to throw the thing away. I'm not sure. We'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Scenario question number one.
Okay.
All right. This is really not really a scenario, but name your favorite Jordan Spieth moment / win. What's your favorite Jordan Spieth moment or win? Could be both. Let's just go around the horn. I'm going to let Spieth Legion Bob take over first.
Oh.
Yeah, so my favorite golf moment and my favorite Spieth moment is actually different. That's
fine. You can have two.
In terms of
rules.
In terms of the Spieth one, it has to be the final stretch at the Open. That is what I'll always remember. That is as good as I had ever seen him play. It was so hype. I was at the Cape. I remember with my family, we were watching in the living room before my days of having to tweet every shot.
Yeah.
Which it's a different experience. I can't imagine what it would have been like tweeting that back nine, having to go through all the emotions of being almost out of bounds at 13. But when I always narrow it down to one shot, which is that club twirl tee shot on the 14th, the par 3, where he club twirls. And as soon as I it's just like, it was such a killer face that when I saw it, I knew that he was going to win the tournament, and it was unreal. Because it had been his first major in 3 years, and being the Spieth fan, like I became a Spieth fan in like 2014 at the 2014 Masters when he lost to Bubba. There was something that just attracts me to him then. And when he won his first 2 majors, I was like, oh, so this is just going to happen every year. That's why the 2016 Masters never bothered me as much as it would have today, because I was like, this sucks, but he's probably just going to win next year, right?
Yeah, he's probably just going to be back every year. He's right there in it.
I've been humbled since, to say the least.
Yeah.
Wins are very hard to come by, and but yeah, I'd say it has to be the Open. But Valero was awesome, winning my first one with an account, and that was also pretty cool.
Yeah. I got you. That's a good one. Ben, what you got? What's your favorite Spieth moment / favorite Spieth win that you can think of?
It did end up being a win. I will say, and I don't know if I told Bob this before, my sister actually taught Spieth at Texas when he was out there. So
really?
Yes, I became a Spieth
That's
fan.
Crazy.
Yeah, I became a Spieth fan whenever she said when he was in school, she knew I followed golf. And so when he was in school, it was when he was a freshman, and she said, "Hey, this kid that's on the golf team, he's actually pretty good. You should probably pay attention to him." And she said, it's to the point where they've let us know that he's probably going pro, because like he would go to office hours and stuff, and she really would kind of roll her eyes at him, and she was kind of like, "What are you here for? Like, you're not."
What does she teach?
Like, you're not going to be. It was she taught communications, so he was in communications. So I think hers was like a rhetoric class, which was actually like a tough class. And
Rhetoric. What
the
heck is that?
And a lot of people don't realize this. He had never made less than an A in his life. And so he was really focused on doing well even in college. So she said, yeah. So those that think that he's like super cool, he's actually kind of a nerd. But he's a cool nerd, because he's a nerd that plays golf. So but my favorite moment was probably the Travelers, when he throws the club after dunking it in there on Berger, especially now that we don't like Berger anymore. It makes it even better. But it was everything from his bunker shot that he throws up there, to the club throw, to the chest bump with Greller, to like
the fake thumbs up smile.
Yeah. Like
from Berger.
Like, the Berger doing the, oh shit, doing the whole,
I can't believe he just made that. God
so
exactly.
I loved it, because it was one of those things where when he did it and it went in, I'll never forget. I mean, I was watching it, and like, I'm throwing stuff around the room too. I'm like, he friggin' made it. He made it. And
it was awesome.
But then, Berger still had a birdie putt.
You can't make a birdie. It's impossible to make a birdie after that.
But that was the thing is, I think I told my wife, I think I even looked at her, or maybe one of the kids were in the room. I was like, all right, now we got to hope that he misses. And even, I think it was my wife that even looked at me and said, there's no chance he makes that. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Between that moment and probably, what was it, the John Deere, where he got his first win from holding out on the bunker downhill?
Yeah, so I wasn't a fan then. I didn't become a fan until 2013, and even in 2013, I wasn't even that big into like watching golf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the first tournament I watched like really in depth, like when I really got into golf, was the Masters that year, I think.
Yeah.
The Scott versus Cabrera, the playoff.
Yeah.
That was when I'd watched the Masters every year with my dad.
That dude
Sunday.
That dude did Would You Rather Wednesday, and he did go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's in his own.
I think we did a Would You Rather Wednesday about him being in jail, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's got some problems going on over there. But yeah, so that's when I started. And when he won the John Deere later that year, I still wasn't that into it. So I'm not that early of a fan, but I'm earlier than his big win. So I'm not a bandwagon.
The only reason that I remembered that first one was just because of my sister. I mean, a year before that.
No, that's crazy.
Having him in
office
hours.
Ridiculous.
And so then when he made it, like, I'm getting texts from her. She's like, that's the kid I'm telling you about. That's the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he beat the hometown hero in that John Deere.
Oh, what was his? Oh,
Zach Johnson.
Zach Johnson.
Yeah, and who was the one he beat in 2015? He beat one of my friend's dads.
Patrick Reed and Sean O'Hare.
No, it was some.
Oh, Tom Gillis.
Tom Gillis. That's who it is. Yeah.
At the John
One
Deere.
of my friends.
That's the only time that dude's getting a name drop on this
best
show.
Friend is that's his dad.
How about he just doms the John Deere Classic? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he's
awesome.
big. Yeah, that's his jam.
That's crazy. But yeah, the Travelers is such a sick tournament. I've been going for a few years now.
Yeah.
didn't get to go to 2017, but so that was actually my favorite golf moment ever, was the playoff, because I was there this year.
Wow.
And running back and forth between tees for it was like 2.5 hours, that playoff. Like you think it went by fast. It did not. It was pitch black when that thing was finished. And I texted my mom. I was like, if this thing goes to a playoff tomorrow, I'm driving back. It was an hour and a half. And I was like, I'll drive back for one hole. I cannot stay here this entire night to miss the end. I'll drive back tomorrow morning. I'll sleep in my car. It was unbelievable because everyone was rooting for Kramer Hickok because, that's usually how playoffs are. Like, that's what they were talking about this on the broadcast, how it was Cantlay and Spieth. It's usually a big name and then a not so big name is fighting for a store card. And that's how this was. And it was like so
8
cool
holes or something like that. How many holes? That was crazy. Yeah.
It was 8 holes. And so many like lip outs, like it should have ended here.
Or great up and downs. Like there were some great up and downs out of the bunkers. Hudson and it was Hudson Swafford. No, Harris English.
Harris English. Yeah.
Harris English. They're the same guy. They're the
same guy.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Kyle, what's yours?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Mine.
Yours.
I forgot about mine. All right. So mine is kind of weird. So my wife, we watched, that's the only tournament she watches is the Masters. So obviously 2015 Masters happens. She loves Jordan Spieth because Jordan Spieth wins. She gets me practice round tickets for Christmas off like StubHub or something for the next year. So we go on a Monday practice round and we get there, we find, we got there a little bit late in the morning. We end up finding JT, Spieth, and I think Ricky were playing a practice round together, and they get to 15 and Jordan, they all hit pretty good drives. Jordan was in the middle of the fairway. He takes out a 3-wood and he hits it in the grandstands. So I was like, that was interesting. He drops another one, hits it in the grandstands, which is you're not really supposed to do. And you're not really supposed to, but I think because they just pretended like it was in the hazard. So he just dropped. He hit 2 in the grandstands. And I was like, dang, after we got out, I texted my friends. I was like, I just don't think, he's definitely not going to win. He just hit 2 in the grandstand and then he almost wins it. So it's kind of like you see him kind of, I don't know, do a practice round and then he almost wins it. He does have to blow up on 12, but right after, so watching him win the Masters and then you watch him in the practice round, get to 15 and you're thinking he's about to throw this, 5-wood or whatever it is up there pretty tight. And he hits 2 in the bleachers. And then I was like, well, it was everybody was like, really like, didn't really know where to look. Everybody was like, what do we do? Do we look away? Like what's going on? This is the Masters champion. Hitting in the bleachers, but that was
that's
weird.
sick that you got to go. Yeah,
I got to see him hit the skip shot at the Masters. We were sitting in the grandstands on 15 to watch him hit the 16, the skip over the water on 16.
Yeah,
and he made it. He didn't hit more than one. So the year that I went,
when I did it, he did the one. He when you hit it really hard and he hit the water one time and it like rose and flew the green way over, like he hit it way over the green when I watched it. So it was kind of crazy, but no, that's probably my favorite memory. We're acting like he's not here anymore, but it's just whatever. Just
exactly.
It's just kind of like, I remember those times.
We're just afraid he won't win anytime soon.
In remembrance pod,
yeah, in remembrance. Second question, or second / this is kind of a scenario. Okay, Spieth has 4 second place finishes in a major championship. Which one would you like to take and make it a win? So think of the 4, I think it's 4 second place finishes, 2 at the Masters.
Well, the PGA is the easy one because
2 at the 1 at the PGA and 1 at the Open. So which one would you change and I guess why?
I'll take away the PGA because that's too easy because
that gives him the Grand Slam.
That gives him the Grand Slam. I was actually just having this conversation.
That's the whole reason that I wanted to choose that one so I could give him the Grand Slam.
I took
the low hanging fruit.
I was just having this conversation with one of my buddies. They were like, would you change that second place at St. Andrews for over a Masters? And over a PGA? And I was like, St. Andrews is like that place. I think the one place I take a win over the Masters besides PGA, obviously, because is St. Andrews. So I think just because St. Andrews is such a historical course that winning there would just add to the legacy that he has, even more than just any random Open.
Yeah.
He would be one of the biggest. You know how they love their winners. British Open people love their winners. I think Spieth would be one of those that he would never buy a beer in a pub over there ever again because they would love him so much. Like he would be protected. Like they would all be like his secret service when he went over there.
Oh yeah, it's when he won it.
Like St. Andrews is just different, man. It for some reason it's like Tiger.
Yeah.
Even David Duval, like anybody that wins at St. Andrews, it's not like I'm sorry, no disrespect to the rest of the British Open courses. Like I get it, like it's great.
No, 100%, yeah.
But they don't feel the same about Phil winning the British Open that they do about Tiger winning the British Open.
No, they don't. It's a completely different ball game for sure. It's crazy.
So you would give him.
I'd give him that second at St. Andrews, or I don't even know if that was a second. I think it was a
fourth, but it was a fourth, but
he was one shot back.
It was only like one shot.
Yeah. I'd give him the Masters over this. So when was the second? Was the second last year?
It was 2021.
Yeah. So I think I'd give him the Masters over last year, but
you would go back if we could. If the scenario was a little different, we'd give him that Open. That would be three in a row too, which would have been dope.
Oh, that would have been an unreal storyline, especially since he should have won the PGA in 2015 if not for that draw. It was like a 6-shot difference between afternoon and morning wave, and he lost by like 3. That's unbelievable.
Just playing phenomenal. Yeah, he was one shot back.
And
he almost birdied. He almost holed it out. Do you remember that? He missed the green way left.
Yeah,
and had a shot at it.
He says that that's his bet. That's the best he's ever played in the tournament. And he lost. He didn't win.
Oh,
it's crazy.
He said that's better than any of his wins. He said because that course was playing so hard that week.
That was
even though the scores were easy, like the scores were low, like the course was playing so mentally challenging. Like because there were some holes that you just had to make birdie or you were losing a full shot to the field. It was brilliant. I love whistling straights. I think they should go back there for a PGA for sure.
That's a low key one of the greatest years of major golf ever. He had
2 wins. 100% is. Yeah.
2 wins, one shot back at the Open and came in solo second, but 3 shots back in the PGA that year.
Yeah. Wow. He has to be in the last 50 years. That has to be the best besides Tiger's 3 major win. And I forget what he finished at the Masters, but
he had his Tiger Slam that year.
Yeah, he had the Tiger Slam that he won the Masters next year. But in terms of a calendar year, that has to be in the last 50 years the second best, probably. I'd say.
Unbelievable.
I don't remember someone winning 3.
No,
I mean
Tiger.
I think that was what was talked about whenever he was making that run. Is he's the only guy that's ever done it since, or he and Tiger even Jack did. I mean, the Jack did finish second quite a bit, but
he won 5 times that year. I didn't even realize that he won 5 times.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to take on my scenario. I'm taking the low hanging fruit. I want him to have the Grand Slam. I don't know now that I've seen the golfers in the competition.
Yeah.
Tiger may be the last one to have the slam now. And so, Spieth has got to you got to be pulling for him now so he can have the career slam. Rory's not, it doesn't seem like Rory's going to get it. Phil has stuck himself in the rear end. I don't know that he's ever going to, that just really, he had a chance and now he's just completely ruined that. So
I think I'd rather him win a slam than 2 majors. Like I'd rather him win a PGA than 2 Masters or a Masters in the US Open. Like the thing about the slam is just worth that much more.
Yeah.
Him winning a PGA would instantly move him into like top 15 at least all time, maybe top 10.
No,
like he would be past Phil before he won the PGA last year. Like Phil winning the PGA last year definitely vaulted him up, but I
It's
mean,
only 5 ever.
Dude.
Yeah.
He would get introduced from there out as Grand Slam
exactly.
winner.
It
Like
would-
every
it
time
would
he got
be-
introduced at a golf tournament, that's how he'd be introduced.
No, yeah. Once he completes the career Grand Slam, I can die happy.
Gene Sarazen,
that's-
Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. That's pretty good company if you can pull that off. I would choose the 2016 Masters because
Yeah, I see that.
that would
I
keep
get
that would have kept Danny Willett from winning, and I was there at that one, so that's what I would have taken.
By the way, Bob,
Thinking-
if you didn't realize, we hate Danny Willett. Like we're
I don't
so
hate-
we're so pissed that he won the Masters because he just doesn't fit.
He's not a Masters winner yet. It's just like,
I don't know why I
Like,
feel that way.
you know,
we
I
did
haven't
that-
even. I just thought about like, if you give him that win, like, his career takes a completely different path.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Danny Willett's played in the Masters 8 times. He's been cut 4 times and he's won.
He's just not.
You
he's-
kidding me?
He gets to, like
He gets to
nobody
do it
talks to
forever.
him at the dinner. Like he doesn't nobody talks to him at the dinner. He has to sit by himself. You know that's the case.
After he won, he missed
So
the cut
weird.
3 straight times.
He is just such a weird.
You ought to lose your
Uh,
exemptions.
I mean, he definitely played great that week, but it just didn't feel right having it handed to him like that.
yeah,
um,
and then you get to what you take away. That would have taken away the whole 12 debacle
Yeah,
meltdown.
exactly.
So yeah, I would give him that one because I think if he wins that, he probably eventually would win the PGA anyway. I think that would have built his confidence to a point he would have probably ended up winning the PGA.
That's a good point. I didn't think about
PGA
that.
anyway. So
Yeah.
that's what I would go with. So has everybody done that one? You're all
Yeah.
done that one? All right, cool. Last scenario. All right, no more Jordan Spieth talk. This is a golf, 100% golf
It's
scenario.
time to go to jail. Yep.
Yep, it's time to go to jail. All right, so here's the scenario. I'm going to give you the ability to do one of 2 things. Okay, so this is a true. Would you rather have this or would you rather have that in your golf game? And it's different for everybody, but we're amateurs, so it would. I think this is a pretty compelling one. So you can guarantee that every round you play. Let me make sure I read this right. Okay. Every round of golf that you play, you're going to guarantee yourself 3 birdies forever. I think I said 2. I went back and really thought about it. 3 birdies. You get to have 3 birdies every time you play forever. Okay. For the rest of your life. Or you can say you guarantee that you never make another double bogey or worse for the rest of your life.
Does that include triples and
Double
Yes,
bogey,
no
double
doubles
bogey
or worse.
or worse.
The worst you can ever play is bogey golf ever.
So you're never gonna
Like
more
when you're
than likely
when you're 95, you can take money from people by playing the bogey.
more than
golf.
likely you're never going to break. You're never going to shoot under. You're never going to shoot over 90 this way.
You can
obviously.
still make birdies though, right?
Yeah.
You can still make birdies, but it's no guarantee.
They're
It's
not
no
guaranteed.
guarantee.
Yeah, I've got to take the no doubles. I mean, I'm like a 3 handicap right now.
Yeah.
I make I make usually 2 birdies around anyways.
Yeah.
Like when I have a good round. The other day I had a 5 birdie, 4 double 76.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like Kyle.
Yeah, it was awful. Because that was the low round and my home course is so difficult. It always it's been getting me for years. I played 100 times a year and I can never shoot a good round there. So to shoot 76, I was super excited because that was the low round there that I'd ever shot. Because like I'll shoot like 73 other places, but I just can't do that there. And I was like, this round could have been something. Like I made double on 1. And usually when I make double on 1, I can never get it back on track. But we were playing best ball. Me and my friend have a best ball tournament in a few weeks. So we're practicing that. But we made par as the best ball team. So my mentality was not focused on the double that I just made.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure helped, even though I was playing my own ball. when you're an amateur, you make too many of those. Like, everyone's gonna make a few birdies here and then, but if you're an amateur and you're below a 15 handicap, you'll make your fair share of pars and birdies. The doubles are always what kill you. I mean, they're always what kill you. So I'd have to take the no doubles. I feel like.
Oh, you know my answer.
It's the doubles.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Kyle can tell you, I'm a around par golfer, and I'm guaranteed to put up minimum 2 doubles around, if not 3 doubles around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I start out. It's almost like I walk out and I start out 6 over before I've ever teed the ball up. Like, you know, how Bryson made the statement where he said, oh, this is playing as a par 67. Every course plays a par 78 to me right away. So
yeah, I
got to take the doubles out, because I'll run in a birdie every now and then with the way I putt and the way I chip around the green. I mean, I can save par. So, yeah, I mean, I would probably consistently be somewhere between 74 to 78 per round golfer if you take the doubles out. Instead, I'm gonna shoot 80 to 85 every time, because I've started out 6 over before I've even finished the course.
Yeah.
So you think you average 3 doubles around?
Yeah. I think, and because I told you when I shot the other day, when I shot 74, last time out, when I texted you and shot 74, I had 0 doubles and shot 74.
Okay. But you had what?
I actually got the card right here because I had not put it in.
You framed it? You're framing it?
No, I didn't frame it. I didn't put it in. I had an eagle and 3 birdies.
Okay. Oh, 3 birdies. How about that?
Yeah. So, but then I had 7 bogeys, 8 bogeys.
So this is how I look at it. I may make like,
but I had no doubles.
Okay. But it's still from a double to a bogey is 1 stroke, and from a par to a birdie is 1 stroke. So it's like you're going to gain strokes. I think I'm more like, let me see.
Yeah, but there's also triples and quads. So
that's true too. But I think I'm more likely to have, let me see I think that I could gain more strokes with the birdies than I could from the double bogeys.
I see that. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like,
what's your handicap?
Right now, probably about a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that that guarantees me 3 shots where I may only make like 1 or 2 doubles around.
Yep. That's fair enough.
You see what I'm saying? So I think I'm looking at, and plus birdies are fun. Let's just be honest. I'd rather go ahead and know, hey, I'm about to go in and drop 3, because we play a little $2 hole, $2 birdie game, and maybe those birdies come on the back now when we start to hit those presses. So a birdie is typically a win and the hole. So now you've gone up, whatever that amount.
I think that depends. I think it depends on the game that you play too. Like, that's frustrating part with me is, like, you're known to hit one off the reservation, which gives you a double. I mean, I'm going to hit 13 and a half fairways around, and I still get doubles.
Yeah. No, like, I know what you mean.
That's what sucks is I'm doubling from the middle of the fairway. You're doubling from somebody's back porch. There's a big difference.
That's true. That's true too. I see what you're saying.
I guess it depends on the game.
No, this is a great question, because it really depends on how you play.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on what your style is. Like, there are scratch handicaps who are boring and make 18 pars, and the scratch handicaps that make 3 doubles and eagle and 6 birdies.
And those are the guys that I like playing with. The scratch guys.
That's the fun one,
that have like 5 or 6, bogeys, but they also have 4 or 5 birdies. That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I just think guaranteeing myself those 3 shots. I probably don't have very often where I have 3 doubles, in a round. That's probably pretty rare. So I just think it'll cut me more strokes in the long run. But a lot of fun. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to our club sponsor, Birdie Golf Designs, BYRDIE.
Yes,
got to remember that. Nicholas Bird, new company. He started off blades. They got crazy designs, colors, things like that. So we all 3 have a different set. And now they got cavity backs. They got a more player improvement type feel to them. Awesome wedges that go with it. You can get a set of irons and a set of wedges for like $500, and then you can use coupon code Dadbod 15, I believe, or 22. Sorry,
22.
Dadbod 22, and you can take
2022.
15% off the top of that. That's kind of confusing. Just think the year 2022. Dadbod 22, you can take 15% off of that already incredible deal. You can get a 4 through pitching wedge, and then 3 a full wedge set for $500. So check them out. Birdie Golf Designs. They got good hats. They got a cool logo in general. Their logo is really cool. So
Yeah, they do.
check them out. Show them some love. Appreciate those guys. Bob, thanks for coming on, man. Kind of
Thank
last
you.
minute, but we wanted to
Absolutely.
get you on
I
here.
promised. Yeah.
Thanks for
did, you
keeping your
promised.
promise, by the way. The fact that after the win, you tweeted out and you said, it looks like I got to keep my word. And I'm like, oh, brother, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
are awesome. Yeah, I love listening to your Would You Rather Wednesdays. So
Well, you also you want to plug you host a podcast as well. So
Yes.
tell everybody about where to find you on social media, where to find you on podcast land, everything.
yes, go get that pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can go get that pod is what all our tags are, and
Yeah.
we have fun over there. We'll have to have you guys on sometime. We're pretty busy doing the schedules every week, but on the off season we're gonna have guests back on. So we'll have to get you guys on for sure.
Oh,
Do
we're
something.
in. We're in
Yeah,
100%.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
You
Thanks
guys are
again.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks again for coming. We'll be back Friday. There's a surprise when you're listening to this. There's something big that's going down. There's something big that's
Wow.
going down. And
Mainly for Kyle, not the rest of us, but
mostly
Kyle.
for me. The podcast has finally paid off. There's something big going on right now. So if you check it back in on Friday, we're gonna have a full review of it. It's gonna be a blast. I'm looking into the future. You're seeing me in the past, but in today's as the present, I'm super excited. So
We still got to talk about Top Golf Live too that we did. We didn't even discuss that yet.
Yeah,
We'll skip
we'll
Monday.
talk about Top Golf too when we get Nate back on Friday. So we did Top Golf inside of Jordan Hare Stadium, Bob, where the Auburn Tigers play football. We did a football stadium that holds 87,000 people. We were hitting golf balls inside the stadium. It was really cool. So.
Yeah, they do that thing. Yeah, they brought it to Fenway Park once. I think.
Yeah, Fenway saw those videos.
Yeah, they did.
It's awesome.
I think they did baseball last year, so they're doing football stadiums this year. So
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
jumped in
was a
there.
lot of fun. We'll talk about that Friday too, when Nate gets back. So thanks again for jumping on, and y'all catch us Friday. Dadbod Golf Pod.
always stroking.
Broken.